I brought 2 shirts and I could have changed my shirt.
Okay, this is Robin with Oxy-Dry, and today I am again in my garage, and I'm here with my friend Roger, and we just did an interview. And what we're going to do right now is Roger has never used an orbital machine before, and so I've got 3 orbital machines that we're going to play around with a little bit, plus a rotary machine, which Roger is used to using. You've been using the rotary pretty much now for about 4 months or so.
Yep.
And so I thought that it would be interesting to get Roger's feedback on using the Orbot, which is, many people would argue that this is the flagship of the orbital machines. Not everybody would agree with that, but it is certainly a very well respected machine. They've been out for about 10 years, I think. They have a newer version called the Vibe, which is slightly different in the handle and whatnot, although the motor and the drive mechanism, the orbital system, is identical. And what I've done is we're just running on concrete. We're not going to be doing any spraying, and Roger's just going to try the way this machine maneuvers and everything. I want to get his feedback as someone who's never used an orbital machine. And I've set it up with, he's got a gallon of water in there. We're not going to actually spray anything. I think I mentioned that. But I did put the half of the weights on here. So we've got 3 weights on each side. You could use this machine without the weights, but it doesn't actually clean that well without the weights, because the head weight on these machines is quite light. And so most people, when they use them, do put at least some of the weights on. So I've put some of the weights on, and I think we've got about 30 pounds of weight on there. So on top of the weight of the machine, which I believe it's around 110 or so. So we're talking about 140 pounds worth of machine sitting here, which is how they normally would, you would normally use it. Like if I was cleaning carpets with this, commercial, whatever, I would put at least 3 weights on there for doing the carpets. And so that'll give you a sensation. You're going to feel that weight as soon as you turn it on and start moving it around. And I think this compares to the Mighty, which I believe, is the Mighty 130? I think it is.
I haven't looked at them for a while.
I think the Mighty is 130, so it's a similar weight to the Mighty. This is a very smooth machine. It has the same orbit as my Orbitech, which is sitting right over there. Anyway, so we'll get Roger to turn it on, and we're going to get him to do a little obstacle course. And what I did is I set up, I'm simulating as if this was a small bedroom, and you're going to come around the corner, and this would be like the bed frame, and you go down beside the wall and the bed, because that's what we run into if we're using this in a house. And there are people that use the Orbot machine in house. I don't, for various reasons, and one reason is, well, we'll talk about that afterwards. But anyway, Roger, you go ahead and turn it on, and just tell me what you feel, what you're thinking. Just talk to me.
You can definitely feel the weight, and it moves really smooth. I was quite surprised by that. I have like complete control over it, so you would have no trouble getting up against, furniture or glass mirror on a door. So far, so this part is easy. So let's try and navigate it here. So forward and back is really smooth. Sideways, yeah, that's kind of not like an rotary for sure. You've got to basically move it in order to go sideways.
You've got to twist it.
Yeah. You can do a circle with it, but it's actually go forward and then try and go sideways, like I'm used to. It would take a whole different pattern of movement.
Well, there's a trick. Okay, so let's try that. So you're gonna go sideways with it. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift the handle up. But you can feel that weight, eh?
You can feel the weight, and that would wear you out pretty quick.
Yeah, can you imagine doing that all day long?
Yeah.
Okay, can you get around the bed?
You can do it, but by lifting that up and twisting, That's not too good on the back.
That's pretty tricky, isn't it? Now, there's one thing that I haven't mentioned to you. Let's stop for 1 sec. Let me show you something. Because if this was a small bedroom, and this was the edge of this dolly here was a wall, you just punched a hole through the wall. So, how do you do that? Well, there's one way you can do it is you would actually reach in there and you would disengage the handle, lift it up, straight up, go up a bit more. Okay, now you can turn on the machine.
Oh.
Right. So you can do that, but that does mean you have to do that particular maneuver. It's not that you can't do it, but you can see how awkward that is.
Yeah, coming back is...
It's awkward. Okay, you got to lift the wheels. Okay. You can maneuver that thing when it's still running, actually. But you see, one of the things I didn't like about it is that particular mechanism there, the way that this works. I find that a little clumsy. I mean, maybe it's nitpicky, but when you're doing it all day long, you get nitpicky.
Yeah, and you've got to be really precise when you're getting around valuable furniture or glass.
You go in between there, see what happens.
This should add about 50% of your time to every room, just to get around the bed.
You're thinking it'll add time?
Yeah.
Are you? What are your? That's your feeling? Is now you're seeing that it's awkward?
It's awkward, but it does require a lot more planning.
Yeah.
I think. Like for me, getting used to Rotary as opposed to wand was a bit of a learning curve.
Yep.
But now I don't think about it. You just know
it's
the
just
pattern.
natural.
You just know the pattern to go in and out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, turn it off right there. Okay, unclip it here. Unclip the wire. Okay, let's try the wheels up. Just hook it on there. Now, this particular machine is actually an Orbitech with, which is the same machine as this one over here, but this is the one without the tank and everything. I don't think he actually makes it anymore, but this would be the equivalent of, say, a Challenger. Be the same weight, the same orbit, and basically a very similar design. So you just put your hand, that's right, and the switch is up here.
But that doesn't lock in place.
No, it doesn't lock. It's a free floating.
Oh yeah, that feels like a real large orbiter.
It's the same. It's the same.
Work orbiter, same principle.
It's the same idea. It's got the same orbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like an Auric, only bigger.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I like that free floating. That's actually nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a lot more easier.
It's a little more maneuverable, a little more nimble.
Yeah.
Right.
So this should probably go in here pretty easy. You do have to fight it kind of like hard to out of wheel balance. You got to kind of hold it at one angle, the steering wheel, to keep it from moving in addition.
Yeah.
It's definitely lean in one direction. Lean in one direction. Which is fine as long as you know that. I like this better.
Yeah.
Yeah. The maneuverability is there.
This is a better choice for residential.
Yes.
You're moving faster.
Yeah.
And what about the weight of the machine now? When you push the Orbot back and forth, you could feel that weight, eh?
Yeah. Honestly, I think the Orbit's smoother. For the weight, I can feel the weight more on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's no. Well, this thing rests on its wheels.
That's right. Yeah, that one there is kind of, you know.
I didn't get you to try. I didn't get you to try to pick this up yet, though.
No, I don't know if I want to.
No, it's heavy.
Yeah, that one's more like when you're treading water. You know you're heavy, but the water.
Yes.
Let's
Park it up beside here. Okay. Okay, just disconnect that one. It just locks in place. Okay, now we're going to go over to the other Orbitech. No, this machine is actually the oldest one of all of them, I guess. Actually, I guess it's about the same age as this one. An older design. It's actually locked in place already. That's where you'd run it at, that position right there. It's basically the same machine as what you were just using, except it has the wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so give that one a try. Now,
You can also do wheels up with it then.
Huh?
You could probably do wheels up.
If you want to, but you won't.
Ooh. That's like hot nitrogen butter.
Yes. Isn't that nice?
That is unbelievable. So it has the same issue with the first one. You can't just go sideways with it.
Yeah, but you can lift again. You can.
Way more maneuverable.
It is a little more nimble than the Orbot, isn't it?
Yeah. Now this, it doesn't feel like it's straight at all in comparison.
Yep.
With the wheels up. I mean, you can tell there's a bit of weight there, but it's not affecting my lower back at all, and it's almost don't feel anything on the arms.
Now this machine actually does have more head weight because the design puts the tank over top of the motor.
Okay.
So it does have more head weight, and every gallon you put in there is adding 10 pounds. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky, but you can yet do it. Now I don't use mine for residential because I find it's just too clumsy.
This is like moving on ice. It's really super smooth, like slick.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, holding the wheels up, it does after a while.
That would get to you. Yeah.
You feel like it's more back.
We'll go in there. Let's have that look in there. Okay. We'll just unclip that, get it out of the way. So now you've used 3 orbital machines.
Yep.
And now we've got the Rotary. Now this Rotary is actually it's the same as my machine, which is right here, except this is the stock version. Mine's modified with the wheels, etc. This is the tank that you would get with this machine. So this will be the same as the R44, which is the new model, which is actually red. Mastercraft USA sells this machine. This is the tank that you would get with it. It has the original drive block on it and everything. And this is basically a brand new machine. So you give that one a try, Roger. Roger's never used this machine at all.
Handle. That's really cool.
Isn't that nice?
No, honestly.
There's a safety button right there.
Okay.
Right.
Wow, look at that. Just one hand, you can just control that. I mean, it must grab more in carpet though, right?
It depends on the carpet. One carpet has more friction than another. Yeah. But in comparison, these machines, right?
Yeah.
They're all running the same pad.
Yeah. This feels like it's perfectly balanced.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and it's as smooth as that one there. Like you feel like you're skating on ice with it. Wow, I don't ever want to go back to mine.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful, and it's just effortless control. Like with mine, I to open a door, I can I'll do one of these maneuvers, right?
Yeah.
And control it. But this here, I mean, if I ever lost an arm, I get to be in business.
As long as you've got teeth.
Yeah, that is really nice.
Now this is where it's going to get a bit tricky because you can't go straight up on a Rotary with the handle.
Yeah, and I got a wall there.
And you got a wall there. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So you're going to go straight in,
yep,
straight up to the corner,
yep,
and then you're going to stop. Now you're going to lift the handle. Okay, go straight up with the handle. Straight up, all the way up. Now you're going to step around the machine. Like you're going to turn the machine, right? Exactly. So that you're in beside the bed, and you're going to turn the machine slightly. Now you're going to drop the handle, and you're going to go backwards.
I like the precise positioning with that.
Now this is a crampy bedroom you're in. You can go back if you're going to go back further.
Oh, okay.
Keep going a bit further.
Okay.
This is, fortunately we don't run into this too often. You're going to go back a little bit further, and then you're going to have it up against the wall and stop it there. Stop it against the wall. Now you're going to go vertical again. Now you're going to turn it around. and you're gonna, you hooked on? Okay, then you're gonna drop the handle. Then you're gonna go in reverse. It is, this is a scenario, fortunately, we don't run into it too often, but it is certainly a doable thing.
Something happened. Will it not go in the handle position? It won't go ahead with the thing up, right? It's got to be down a certain amount.
No, you're right. You're okay. No, is it not working? Oh, maybe I unplugged. Hang on. Oh, you latched the handle somehow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa, under control. I think I was using the orbiter.
Yeah, you could. That's an unusual scenario, but
that's very tight. I don't think I ever counted that.
No.
Right waist height. So that's one thing I really noticed, especially when I was showing other people that are helping me. You got to get the right height, otherwise you don't.
Oh yeah, it's got to be perfect.
You should be able to pull that trigger and it stays there.
Yeah.
And then otherwise you're banging walls and stuff.
The motor cap is actually not. I got the screws off.
I knocked that off.
It's okay. I just had the motor cap off because I was doing something to it. Okay, now bring it over here. Bring it my way. Okay, turn it off. Lift it up to vertical. Okay, lift it. Now you're going to want to spin the...
graph from here, is that okay?
Yep.
Oh my, that's so light.
You can lift that over your head almost, eh?
Well, I don't lift anything over my head anymore. But yeah, that is incredibly light.
I think it's about 70 pounds.
Yeah. That is,
maybe a bit more with the tank.
It's like a toy compared to what I've got. And what I've got is almost like a toy compared to my original one.
Yeah. Now when you got to lock it in. Make sure you drop it in before you do anything.
That's not.
I think you. No, not quite. Okay, drop your handle.
Which is a great trick you showed me. Just put it on top and swiggle around and stuff.
Now just do a soft cut. There we go. You did it. You're in. Yep. Okay. Now.
I can see why I would want to get one of these.
Isn't that a beautiful machine?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Now what we didn't try is I didn't get you to try to lift the Orbot. Now normally you would probably not lift it with the weights anyway, but you'd have to take the weights off. So lift the handle to vertical. That's good. That's good. Okay, come on over to this side. Now you're going to want to. There's your left handle right here.
Oh, okay.
And then you can. I don't know. Oh, you're left-handed, aren't you?
Yeah.
You normally lift on the.
I do it the way right-handed people do because.
You do it the right-handed way?
It's a right-handed world.
Yes, true enough. Okay, let's see you try and lift that. Now, don't hurt yourself. What do you think of that?
I'm not that strong.
No, that's a brute, eh?
Maybe with the 30 pounds off there, I could do it.
Yeah, you can lift it. No, yeah, you have to. You have to get it in out of the van or whatever. But that is it's not compared to the Rotary there.
Yeah, this would be impractical for commercial or for residential work.
That's why I don't. Yeah, one of the reasons I don't use it. The other reason, other thing I don't like I don't like this handle arrangement. I find this it's too thick.
That's different than here, or just the size of it.
The size and the fact that it's not like the right angle.
Yeah.
I find that awkward. Now there's one other thing you can do. Oh, maybe we shouldn't do that. I was going to get you to go up the steps over there. Maybe not. But anyway, that
was very interesting. Yeah.
So what's the verdict?
Having done that, if I was buying equipment and thinking about getting one of those, I've seen what they can do on commercial, and right now 40% of my work is commercial, and so I'd be inclined to get it just for that.
Yep.
In fact, I've got a couple of big buildings to do every year that I wouldn't want to do it any other way now.
Yeah.
But if I was starting out, I would go with this, because this will do both. A little bit longer probably on the commercial.
Yeah.
And then make the money, and then go after your hotels and ballrooms and, you know, apartment complexes with big hallways with one of those. Was it anything surprising about the Orbot that you weren't expecting? The maneuverability, but that's just knowing the technique, right?
In what way?
Well, I was expecting I could just go sideways with it.
Not so much.
Not having used one, you just don't know, right? And when you're watching people, I'm looking at the result before and after, not so much about what the person's doing.
Right.
So
what are we going to do?
Well, I'm going to get one of these. You've convinced me. I'm happy with that one because it's so much lighter than another one.
Yeah, it's a great machine. Yeah. It's the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world for you too.
Yeah, something like that as a starter is more than adequate to make enough money to get a nice, precise machine like this. It's noticeably better, smoother operating.
Lighter.
Lighter. It might translate into, faster cleaning, I would imagine. And then, for the big jobs, you want that.
What do you think of the handle release up top?
That is so much nicer. Well, look where mine is. It's down. You have to bend down, unscrew that.
Yeah, it's workable. It's workable. I mean, I did that for many years before I got this machine.
That big clunky one I had, it had one of these.
Oh yeah.
Down here.
Yeah.
And you would have to reef to get it loose. And then in order for it to hold, you'd have to kick it in.
Oh.
But it's meant for doing hard flooring.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I just bought something off the buy and sell.
Yeah.
To get going with it.
That one was 109 pounds, I believe.
At least that. Oh.
Maybe it's more. And that makes a big difference too, because a lot of guys, guys are thinking going to VLM, thinking maybe going a rotary machine or whatever. They don't realize that what you got to be careful of is what's the weight you're starting off with a rotary machine, because a lot of them are about 109 or 110 pounds.
They're meant for doing polishing floors.
That's what they're for, absolutely.
Yeah, so without knowing that, you'd make a mistake.
And there's another thing to be very careful of, is the amperage rating. A lot of them are weighted at 12 or 13 amps, and you're up there now. You're into the danger zone of even maybe tripping breakers. Yeah. Because often there's lights that are on that circuit as well, and I'll even trip breakers occasionally with my machine. And you won't believe what the amperage rating is of this machine, Roger. Take a look. Can you see it?
What's on here?
It's right there on the motor. Can you see?
9 amps. I would not believe that.
9 amps.
I was thinking 12 would be minimum for something.
It's a 1.5 horse.
And it's a 1.5 horse.
1.5 horse. 9 amps.
Wow.
It's got to do with the quality of the windings, actually. Sometimes people buy you have a vacuum that's being sold, and they brag, oh, this vacuum, it's 12 amps. Ooh. Well, you know what the Kirby's rated at? 7.
Really?
It's got nothing to do with the power of the machine. It's the amount of electricity that it's sucking up.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Eh?
One thing about that machine, it's got that little fuse that heats up and melts and then solidifies again. There's a name for those on that machine. So I don't blow breakers anymore. The machine shuts off first.
Oh, you've got the safeties on your machine. Has it shut off?
Yeah, this little thing here.
Okay.
And the reason I know that is this light will be on, show I have power, but these lights shut off.
Oh.
And so when I don't have the pad wet enough, usually when I'm using the red one,
yep,
on a carpet, it'll trigger that.
Okay, so friction causes the overheat.
Or if you're using it and you get it too close to your body, you push it forward, the friction will grab it and kick it off right away. So it teaches you a better technique.
Oh, okay.
Keep it smooth, keep it wet.
Yeah.
So that's been great because that happens on almost every job.
And your machine is a 2-speed.
Yes, and today I had a 2-speed mode and didn't realize it. Now I used it, and I thought, oh, this seems to be going faster than normal. Then I flicked it, and then I went back to slow mode. So now I'm going to use it in high-speed mode.
You do?
I'm going to start. Oh, I did the whole job today.
Oh, okay.
Not realizing it was on.
Would you notice any difference?
Did I notice any difference? The only time I've noticed a difference is when I have it at a regular speed and I get in a bad traffic area. I'll go over it again at high speed, and then I notice it's better. But I haven't experimented with it a lot because I was afraid to.
Yeah.
But now that I know more about getting it wet enough, and so there's not the friction, I don't have to worry about that because it doesn't matter how fast it goes. If there's enough moisture there, it's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I branch out and get more confident, I start experimenting with stuff like that.
Okay.
So.
Well, very interesting. Nice to play with these different machines, eh?
Yeah, now I know what I want.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you for your any thoughts, any words of wisdom?
Yeah, if you're starting out, don't be afraid to make the change. Get some advice. Talk to people. Forums are great. People love to share their knowledge because they're not in a competing marketplace.
Yeah.
And I think it's the only way to go now. Like honestly, if you give me a brand new $100,000 truck, I wouldn't want to.
Too much like work, eh?
It's too much like work. Exactly.
This is more like play.
It's better.
Much better.
I don't know what play. You live in Kelowna. So
Hey, here's the biggest and most important question of all. Are you ready for this one?
Sure.
What'd your wife say?
She doesn't want to help me. I'm thinking, hey, you can come do the vacuuming. No. But does she like that you're going away from the truck? You know, the only thing she said is this truck smells nicer than the other one. She wouldn't drive me in the hot water truck.
No?
Because it stinks.
Oh, the smell of the sewage.
The sour, yeah.
They smell like a sewer tank.
Yeah, and now the pot's legal.
Oh, yeah.
You get a place with pot in it, and it gets in the water, the recovery tank.
Oh.
It stinks up the truck.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Even a little bit. It gives that real sour smell.
Oh, yeah.
So.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
All right. See you next time.